Hello students, today we are going to discuss very interesting topic, very important topic, that is metallurgy, that is extraction of metal. Before discussing this, already you know elements are two types, that is metal and non-metals. When metal combines with non-metals, it produces ionic compound, that is salt. The salts are available, mainly the source of salt are available in the earth crust or in the water of ocean. These are two important sources. Compounds or salts of metal, non-metals available in the earth crust is called minerals. Generally this is called minerals. These minerals, that is called minerals, which are natural occurring and containing impurities. Mainly it contains impurities and natural occurring, either soluble or insoluble. Most of minerals are insoluble, which are present in the earth crust. And the minerals from which metal is extracted profitably and economically, that is called ores. Profitably and economically, when it will be extracted from the ores, that is from minerals, that is called ores. So a very important difference between minerals and ores is very important difference, that all ores are minerals, but all minerals are not ores, because it is possible to extract metals from the minerals, then that minerals is called ores. When the minerals will be selected for extraction of metal, that is called ores. So all ores are minerals, but all minerals are not ores. What are the important examples of minerals? Let us discuss. Mainly the minerals, generally water insoluble, available in the form of carbonate, oxides and sulfides. So what are the examples? Magnesite, magnesium carbonate; bauxite, aluminum oxides; zinc blende, zinc sulfide; hematite, iron oxides, that is ferrous, that is ferric oxide; zincite, that is zinc oxide; cinnabar, that is mercuric sulfide; and chalcopyrite, that is iron sulfides; siderite, that is iron carbonate; magnetite, that is ferroso-ferric oxide, Fe3O4; cuprite, that is cupric oxides; horn silver, that is silver chloride; and galena, that is lead sulfide. So these are some important common name of ores, that is some metallurgical terms. What are the metallurgical name? That is, we can say the common name of ores. The next part is very important thing. How can you extract metal from its ore? What are the procedure? What are the steps? So profitably we can extract the metals from its ore. What are the several steps are used? So let us discuss these things. So procedure for extraction, generally 4 steps are used. First step is important: concentration of ore. Concentration means purification of ore. Ore containing impurities, it should be purified. That is called concentration of ore, or that is called enrichment. That is the first step. Second step, that is conversion of concentrated ore. In the first step will be convert to oxides. after concentration it will be converted to oxide, because oxides ore can be easily reduced to metal, because our aim is to get metal from the ores. So second step is conversion of all concentrated ore into oxides. If the ore is not oxides, we have to convert into oxides. Let's suppose carbonate or sulfide, it will be converted to oxides. Then third step is that conversion of oxide ore into metal, that is reduction. That step is, third step is reduction. Then fourth step is, after getting metal, it will be again purified, because it must contain some impurities. It is not 100% pure, so it should be purified. That is called a refining of metal. So these are four steps will be used in the extraction of metals. So we will discuss one by one. First, let us discuss concentration ore, that is enrichment, that is called purification of ores. So here mainly the ore contains some impurities. The impurities generally is called gangue. Another term of impurity is called gangue. It is present in the earth crust. It should be removed from the ores. That is called concentration. What are the concentration process? Let us discuss. It may be physical process or it may be a chemical process. Concentration may be a physical process or chemical process. This one thing, remember, this chapter is very important. Only theoretical or some chemical reactions involved, but these are very important for class 10th and up to 12th students, and for it is also very important for JEE and NEET students, those are interested to prepare. So from question also asking from this chapter, so you have to take care this. What are the concentration process? How the ore will be removed, how the impurity will be, that is gangues, will be removed from the ores. First step is that is gravity separation. In the gravity separation, first step is gravity separation. Second step, that is called electromagnetic separation. Third step, that is fourth flotation process, and fourth step, that is called magnetic separation, and fifth step, that is chemical method, or that is leaching. So these four steps, four methods can be applicable, can be used in the removal of impurities from the ores. First, let us discuss gravity separation. This method is very easiest method, that is not no chemicals used. Directly the ore will be washed with water. Mainly the ore will be washed with water. Washing of ore using water, that is called gravity separation, because ore is more density than the impurities. When you use water, then what happens, the impurities, lighter impurities, in that soluble impurities will be washed out from the ores by a running stream of water. By using running, that is using a stream of water, the stream of water means flowing water. So when you use this, then what happens, the impurity from the ores will be removed, because the impurities may be water soluble, or it may be very lighter substance, it will be removed from the ores. So ores will be settled down at the bottom. You see the diagram, then you can see, here you see, this is the table, this is one table, this table where ore is taken. Then when running water will be allowed to pass, that flow on the table, then what happens, the lighter substance and that soluble part of ore will be removed from the ores. So the ore is heavier, so it will be settled at the bottom of the table. So at the bottom it will be settled down. Which part? Ore will be settled down, and the impurities will be washed out. So in this way we can remove, that is called gravity separation. Then second method is, that is fourth flotation. Froth flotation method generally here four things are used. First is ore, then your oil will be taken, then water, then air. These four things will be used in the froth flotation process. First ore, then ore will be taken, then water will be added, then oil will be added, then to the mixture of ore, oil and water, compressed air will pass through the mixture. Then what happens? When the mixture is agitated, mainly when the mixture is agitated violently with air, then what happens? The oil and ore will mix. Oil and ore will mix, it will float. After that mixture will float on the surface of water. You see the diagram, then you can understand. Here you see this is the froth flotation process, and here only is mainly sulfide ore used. Sulfide ore used in this froth flotation process. Mainly sulfide ore used. Here then sulfide ore will be taken in this tank, then water, then mixed with water, then oil, generally pine oil will be used because pine oil has more weighting capacity towards sulfide ore. So the sulfide ore will be more mixing with the pine oil. So when it will be agitated, the mixture will be to the mixture, then compressed air will pass. Then what happens? A foam is produced, that is leather. Leather will form, that leather will float on the surface of water. Then later it will be removed. So in this way the sulfide ore can be concentrated. Mainly the sulfide ore is concentrated by froth flotation process. Froth flotation, why it is called froth flotation process? Because formation of froth. Froth means lather. So this lather will form, it floats on the surface of water. Lather mainly contains ore and oil and air. Both will be mixed, and water is also there. A formation of a colloidal solution that is called froth, that floats on the surface of water, and it will be removed, and the impurity will be settled down. Impurity will be settled down at the bottom of the container. So that is called gangue. This gangue particle will be settled down. In this way we can separate the impurity from the sulfide ore. Mainly sulfide ore used by sulfide ore will be concentrated by froth flotation process. Then next method is magnetic separation. In this method the ore or impurity which has magnetic character, then it will be separated. So suppose ore has magnetic character and impurity is non-magnetic. So one is magnetic, other is non-magnetic. When it will be, the mixture will be allowed to pass through the conveyor belt. So you see this is the conveyor belt, this is the conveyor belt. Through the conveyor belt here two metallic wheels fixed. The belt is fixed in two metallic wheels. One has magnetic character, it has magnetic nature, magnetic character. This is non-magnetic. Non-magnetic. Which is non-magnetic? Which is non-magnetic? First wheel is non-magnetic, but second wheel is magnetic. When the mixture will be taken in the conveyor belt, then what happens? When the mixture will move, then when the mixture will come to the front wheel which is magnetic character, then it attracts the ores. Let be suppose ore is magnetic character, then will attract, so that it will be pulled backward. So that the ore which has magnetic character will be thrown backward, and the impurity which has non-magnetic nature will be thrown forward. So this is the forward, that is forward throw, this is the backward, this is the backward throw, this is the forward throw. Backward throw mainly contains some magnetic substance, and non-magnetic substance will be thrown that is front towards front, and this is the towards back. So in this way two container, the magnetic and non-magnetic substance will be separated. This is called collector. Through the collector, but that is towards the inner side mainly contain magnetic substance. This is the mainly magnetic substance, and this is your non-magnetic substance. This is non-magnetic, this is your magnetic. So in this way the magnetic and non-magnetic substance can be separated. This is called magnetic separation. Mainly ore of iron oxides, chromium oxides, like this, it can be separated by this magnetic separation. Then next method is very important method, that is called leaching. Leaching is a chemical method. This is a chemical process. In this process what happens? A selected chemical used to dissolve the ore, not the impurity. That means the chemical which will be used, it will dissolve, it will react with the ores, but not to the impurity. Then the ore will be separated, leaving the impurity. Then what happens, how the reaction takes place? For examples, the example is bauxite ore. This is called bauxite ore. Bauxite ore, mainly this is called aluminum oxide. It contains some impurities. When the bauxite ore will be treated with aqueous NaOH solution, then first step it will produce sodium metaluminate. That solution of sodium metaluminate is produced in the first step. This sodium metaluminate solution, when you pass carbon dioxide gas, when carbon dioxide gas will pass, then this is gas. Then what happens? A solid aluminum hydroxide will be formed. Second step, a solid aluminum hydroxide is formed. This solid aluminum hydroxide will be dried, will be separated by filtration, then it will be dried. Then when it will be heated, then pure aluminum oxide, that is pure bauxite, is formed. This is called alumina. This is called alumina. What is alumina? Pure bauxite. But first you have taken impure. You have taken impure, but ultimately in the third step you will get pure. So in this way, that is called leaching. That is a chemical process by which we can separate the impurity from the ores. So you have to remember these three steps. This type of this principle is very important. So you have to remember which chemical is used for which ore to separate the impurities. Here aluminum oxide, the selected chemical is sodium hydroxide. So you have to think, you have to practice. So in this way we can separate the impurity from the ores. This is called purification of bauxite ore by leaching method. Then next step is conversion of concentrated ore into oxides. Already we have discussed that when the ore will be converted to oxides, then it can be easily reduced to metal. So next step is conversion of concentrated ore into oxides. Generally two procedures are used for the conversion of concentrated ore into oxides. Mainly the ore which contain carbonate or sulfide can be converted to oxides. How? One process is rusting, another is called calcination. These are two processes. Rusting process, what happens? Ore is heated in excess of air. In roast means the ore will be heated in presence of air strongly. Then calcination, what happens? Ore is heated in absence of air. No sufficient oxygen is not needed. Sufficient oxygen is not needed in calcination, but in rusting sufficient oxygen is used. This is the difference between rusting and calcination. And then in case of rusting, the sulfide ore is concentrated. Mainly sulfide ore is concentrated, but here which carbonate ore is concentrated. This is the difference. Here carbonate ore is used in calcination process and sulfide ore used in rusting process. Then during heating, in rusting, sulfur dioxide gas is produced, but in calcination the carbon dioxide gas is produced and it convert to oxides. You see, suppose zinc oxide zinc oxide when heated in presence of oxygen produce zinc sulfide when heated in presence of oxygen produce zinc oxides. Similarly, zinc carbonate when heated in calcination process zinc oxide is produced. So all carbonate ore, suppose iron carbonate when heated it produce iron oxide and carbon dioxide. Like this, suppose your copper sulfide when heated in presence of oxygen convert to copper oxide and sulfur dioxide. So like this. So main principle is sulfide ore convert to oxide and carbonate ore convert to oxide. Both will be convert to oxide. So this is called first step, that conversion of sulfide and carbonate ore to oxides by calcination and rusting process. You have to remember this thing. Then after conversion ore into oxides, next step is conversion into metal. That oxide is formed, the previous step will convert into metal, and this is mainly reductions. This is mainly reduction. The process is reduction. What are the reduction process? First step is carbon reduction. Reduction by using carbon. You see iron oxide when heated in presence of carbon, then iron is formed. Oxide is convert to metal, that is a reduction. Zinc oxide convert to zinc metal using carbon. Both case carbon is used and the process will be heated strongly. Then the corresponding metal will be obtained by reduction of oxide ore. So this is called carbon reduction. Then next step is by electrolytic reduction. What is electrolytic reduction? In electrolytic reduction, generally the ore will be taken as electrolyte. It will be undergo electrolysis. Electrolysis process is called electrolysis. In electrolysis process, we can get the metals. For example, bauxite ore, that is bauxite ore. When bauxite ore undergo electrolysis, you will get aluminum and oxygen. How? You see, this is the big tank. Generally, it is used in a metallic tank where high temperature is maintained, so that because aluminum oxide is covalent, it will be melted, then the suitable chemicals will be used to increase the conductivity of aluminum oxides, because aluminum oxide is almost covalent character. So what happens here, the two types of electro use, one is anode, carbon rod is anode, then lining the wall tank wall is coated with that cover with graphite lining. This is graphite lining, this part. This is the tank, steel tank, then it is covered with, second layer is which layer? That is graphite layer. So graphite layer acts as cathode. This is your cathode and this is anode. So two types of electrode use, both are graphite, but one is connected to positive terminal, another connected to negative terminal. Then the aluminum oxide taken in molten form. How to taken in molten form? It will be taken at high temperature. That means high heat is maintained. Okay. So you see the reaction here. Aluminum oxide convert to aluminum and oxygen. Here aluminum which will be obtained at the cathode, means at the bottom of the tank where the graphite lining is mainly given. At the bottom of this, all molten aluminum in molten form is written. In molten aluminum will be collected at the bottom of the container, and the oxygen gas mainly produced at the anode. In the anode, oxygen gas is produced, but the bottom aluminum will be collected. Then it will be separated in another container. So this is called electrolysis. By electrolysis also we can get aluminum metal. Generally reactive metal can be separated from its ores by electrolysis method. You have to remember, we will discuss next point. Then Another method is, third method is displacement method. By displacement method also we can separate the metals. That is called hydrometallurgy, means more reactive metal displace the low reactive metal. In this, for example, chromium oxide using aluminum again heat. Here aluminum is more reactive than chromium, so chromium is separated. And iron oxide and aluminum, here on strong heating, here iron is separated. So this process is called also thermite process. Why it is called thermite process? Because very high temperature is maintained and aluminum is more reactive, it can displace the less reactive metal like iron and chromium. And this process is thermite process is very important. It is used to repair the railway line crack. So that using this process we can repair the crack produced in the railway line. So this is very important, that is called thermite process. This reaction is that is same that displacement reaction, because more reactive displacing the less low reactive. Then another method is also by heating the oxide ore. Some oxide are very unstable, mercury oxides, silver oxides, Ag2O, that is Ag2O, when is heated, then convert to corresponding metal. Then oxygen, HgO convert to Hg plus O2, Ag2O convert to Ag plus O2, like this. But another method is also extraction of copper, that from sulfide ore. Then sulfide ore heated in presence of oxygen, they convert to copper oxides. During heating, copper oxide and unreacted copper sulfide, which remain both combined, forming copper and sulfur dioxide. That is called self oxidation reduction process. Self oxidation and reduction process. Self oxidation reduction process used in the extraction of copper from sulfide ore. So after that purification, after conversion of metal from the oxide ore or sulfide ore, then last step is again the metal will be purified, because the high purity is required for different use. So if high purity is required, so separate method will be used. What are the different methods for the purification or refining of metal? Let us discuss. First is distillation. In this method, the principle is that low boiling point metal will be separated from high boiling impurity. This is the very important. Low boiling point metal will be separated from high boiling point impurity. Examples: mercury, zinc can be purified by this process. Then liquefaction. Liquefaction is here is just opposite, here melting point. Low melting point metal will be separated from high melting point impurity. So this is the important method. Low melting point separated from high melting point impurity. Example: lead, tin can be separated in this way. Then third method is very important, that is electrolysis. Already we have discussed in electrolysis, anode and cathode and electrolyte will be used, and current will be used, DC current will be used. Here what is the principle of this? For what type of metals generally purified? That is metal like copper, silver, gold can be separated in this method, can be purified by this method. Copper, silver and gold, platinum, like this. So that is low reactive metal can be purified by electrolytic methods. Here what happens, you see the diagram, then you can understand. Here the impure metal, suppose it is copper, impure metal is made of copper and pure metal is made of copper. Pure is your cathode, and impure is also anode. So remember this very important principle, that impure metal will be the anode and pure metal will be cathode. Then the same metal salt will be used as electrolytes, that is copper sulfide solution will be used. During the electrolysis, when current will pass, then a reaction takes place. What happens? The metal copper, from impure copper ion will be formed. then this copper ion will be attracted towards cathode and forming copper. Here what happens, at the anode which type of reaction takes place? Copper convert to copper 2 plus and 2 electrons. Then at the cathode what happens, this copper 2 plus will take this 2 electron convert to copper. So copper ion will produce at the anode, and at the cathode copper will deposit. So copper will be deposited at the where? At the cathode, and the copper, the thickness will be reduced, anode thickness will be reduced, and the cathode thickness will be increased. So in this way we can prepare that, we can collect the pure copper, pure metal at the cathode. This thing remember, pure metal will be collected at the cathode. Okay, so this is called electrolytic refining. Then vapor phase refining, this is also very important. In vapor phase refining, here what the principle is, the metal will be converted to, if you take the metal will be using selected reagent, then convert to volatile compound. Then during heating, then what happens, metal reacts with the selected reagent, convert to volatile compound. Then when volatile compound will further heated, then produce pure metal. Then pure metal will be obtained. This is impure. This is your impure metal. Then after the 2 step, convert to pure. This is called vapor phase refining. You see the examples. Vapor phase refining, there are 2 types. One is Van Arkel method. Second one is Mons process. In the Van Arkel method, metals like zirconium, titanium can be purified. Here titanium reacts with iodine selected reagent, convert to titanium tetraiodide. This tetraiodide again volatile compound, when heated then produce again titanium pure. This is impure titanium, this is pure titanium. Similar zirconium is same, impure convert to pure, same methods using iodine. So the principle is, the metal will be converted to first volatile compounds, then the volatile compound on heating convert to again pure metal. This is the principle, that is called Van Arkel method. Then Mons process only for nickel. Nickel will be treated mainly in the Mons process. Carbon monoxide will be used, then convert to nickel tetracarbonyl. This is called nickel tetracarbonyl. 4 carbon monoxide will be used. That's why nickel tetracarbonyl is formed. This volatile compound tetracarbonyl, when heated, convert to again pure nickel. Principle is same. Mainly metal convert to volatile compound, on further heating convert to pure metal. This is called vapor phase refining. Then another very important last method, that is zone refining. In this method what happens, metals like germanium, silicon, gallium, indium, boron can be purified. Although these are not metals, but some metallic character they have. Just like you can say these are the metalloids. Metalloids has also metallic character. So germanium, silicon, gallium, indium, it require a high purity, can be used this zone refining method for the purification. What happens here, a circular heater is used. This is called circular heater. A circular heater is used at a high temperature maintained when the rod, impure metal rod, that is germanium or gallium, anyone use, when it will pass through the circular heater, then it will be melted at the circular heater point. At this point it will be converted to molten form. Then what happens, when it moves, either coil will moves or rod will moves. When they will move, then the impurity will be remain in the molten form and the pure metal will be solidified in crystal forms. For example, you see, when this is the movement of your coil, but your rod is fixed. When coil will move, then when the coil will move forward, then the back side pure metal will be collected, but at the molten side, at the molten part, the impurity remains. So impurity will be produced, impurity move towards in forward direction and pure metal will produce in the back direction, that is backward. In the left side pure metal will produce, in the right side impurity will be separated. So this is called zone refining, where at a particular zone high temperature is maintained, then the impure and pure will be separated. This is called zone refining. So one thing very important, you practice this thing, and very theoretical principle is required. So you have to practice, where the important reaction is used, you also practice. And if you have any doubts, you can send your question in the comment box. But don't forget to subscribe the channel, and if you like this video, and also share the videos to your friends. Thank you all.